York Mets Nation, and welcome to the Bat Cave. I'm your host, the Bat Frie, Kenny Fry. Woo! Hump day! That one's for you, Eileen, if you're out there watching yet. If not, I'll do it again. Hey, there she is. Eileen checking in. Whoop, whoop. Hump day. Guess what day it is? It's hump day. I don't know why I still get a kick out of that so many years later. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's a camel, walking around in the office. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Mike. Guess what day it is? It's hump day. So funny. It's funny. That's good slapstick comedy right there, people. I think it was for Geico. I don't even remember. It doesn't even matter what it was for. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Wednesday morning. That's going to kickstart. I ain't going to sit here and waste time and all that other nonsense. Let's start it off with a little bit of bullpen talk. Not my strong suit, to be 100% honest with you. I'm not really a good bullpen guy just because there's so many different names and people are always on the move, in the bullpen and stuff like that. It's people come up, people go down, people go left, people go right. It doesn't, bullpens are hard. Bullpens are very hard. But occasionally you do get a couple guys that are really good, that are mainstays, that are top of the line bullpen guys, no matter where they go. So their names are very recognizable. But it's not there's not a whole lot of them. There are some, and if you're a baseball guru, which I am not a guru by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to baseball. I am a guru when it comes to eating donuts. That's what I'm a guru at. But I'll throw it out there. We'll talk a little bit of bullpen, and so I'll start off with how our bullpen's constructed. What our bullpen looks like right now, according to the depth chart on MLB.com. And then we'll go from there. So of course we have Edwin Diaz, our closer, should be coming back this season. Stronger than ever. Horns a tootin' and all that good stuff. So we got him coming back from his crazy ass injury from the World Baseball Classic last season. So it's excited to see him again. It's excited to hear the music, the entrance music. As much as I blasted Mr. and Mrs. Met from doing her goofy ass fake trumpet playing whenever it came on, I love that. I loved the entrance music. I love the way they set it up, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we have Edwin Diaz coming back. Brooks Raleigh coming back. So he was terrific for us last season, his first season with the Mets. I believe we got him from the Rays, if I remember correctly, last year, 1 and 2 with a 2.80 ERA. Very good. He had a very good season for us. One of the few bullpen guys that were steady, consistent, and so overall good, I guess, to be honest with you. Drew Smith, not very good for the Mets last year. He did have moments where he wasn't terrible, but when there's a big spot, you couldn't count on. You couldn't count on Drew, unfortunately. But I've mentioned this so many different times on this show. If you watched before, if you haven't, and you're tuning in now, thank you for tuning in. But bullpens are so fickle. Like you'll have a bullpen for a team be so bad one season, and the next season be so much better. Maybe not top of the line, but so much better where the team wins a lot more games. You'll have a bullpen guy that goes out there and goes 6-3 with a 2.5 ERA, and it's just amazing. Then the next season he's 1-6 with a 5.84 ERA. It's just so up and down. Bullpens. It's looking over stats of guys that we got and guys that are potential out there, and looking at past seasons, you'll see like 2 seasons in a row where the ERAs are 4, 5, or 6. Then you'll see like 2 or 3 seasons where it's 3 and 2 and 3. It's like it's so back and forth. It really is. So Drew Smith last year 4-6 with a 4.15 ERA and a 1.402 WHIP. That's walks, hits per innings pitched. Not very good, but like I said, there was times where he did look decent. He did the job. He got the job done. There were a lot of times where we needed him to get the job done. He could not get the job done. Right? So one of the guys we picked up in free agency this year, Mike Tonkin. Last season, 7-3, 4.28 ERA, a whip of 1.088, 2.6 walks per nine, which is very good, and 8.4 strikeouts per nine. Good. The ERA is a little bit higher than what you want, but not bad. And I think this is the guy. I can't remember if this was the guy or not. I should have wrote it down, but I believe last year with Atlanta was his first season back in the major leagues. For a couple of years. I think he was playing internationally, maybe over in Japan or somewhere like that. So I think last season was his first year back in the Major League Baseball. I'm pretty sure that was him. You have Jorge Lopez, who we just picked up. Last year, he was 4-2 with a 5.13 ERA. There's so many guys that we picked up so far this offseason to kind of patch this bullpen together that we sign to like 1-year deals or sign to a deal, a minor league deal, but an invitation to spring training. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? But Jorge Lopez over his career has played with 3 different teams. Phil Bickford played with us last season. 25 games pitched. He was 3-2, 4.62 ERA, and a whip of 1.342. Not the greatest. Johan Ramirez with the White Sox. He had an ERA of around 9. He finished last year with 1-0. Finished last year 1-0 with a 4.23 ERA. So he had a nice bounce back. I wish I could remember who it was with. I didn't write it down. That's how good I am at this job. Well, it's not even a job. I do it for fun. One guy I really do like, Sean Reed Foley. Last year, coming back off of an injury, didn't get a whole lot of time in last season. But I like Sean Reed Foley. I think he's a very good bullpen pitcher, so I'm excited to see him come back. Last year, in the limited amount of time that he did pitch, he was 0-1 with a 3.52 ERA in only 8 games. So not a whole lot to get from there, but I do like Sean Reed Foley. Josh Walker is a left-handed pitcher. Grant Hartwig, 5-2, 4.84 ERA. Wasn't all that great for us last season. And then we also have Reed Garrett, who, again, played with the Mets last season and was not all that great. So that's our bullpen right now. And if you look at it the way I picture it falling into line, which needs a lot of help. I have Tyler McGill as kind of like a spot starter, 6th starter / can come into the bullpen, get 2-3 innings or whatever of working if it has starting pitchers out early or whatever. You need bullpens in tatters. You need somebody to just kind of take over a couple innings. That's what I have Tyler McGill at, and that's where I would have David Peterson at as well if he wasn't injured right now. I'm not sure when he's going to return. I think it's halfway through the season, so yeah, we'll see what happens. See what happens there. So the way I have the bullpen constructed right now, I have Drew Smith, right-handed pitcher, Michael Tonkin, right-handed pitcher, Sean Reed Foley, right-handed pitcher, Phil Bickford, right-handed pitcher, Brooks Raleigh as our setup man, which probably isn't the best spot for him. I don't know. I just he did some setup duties last year. He also did some closing last year, so maybe he'd be all right in the setup role. Setup role might be something that is a rotating spot. Who knows? It's have Raleigh there one day and maybe Sean Reed Foley there another time. I don't know. Then you have Edwin Diaz as your closer. So right now, that's how I view the bullpen. A whole bunch of righties and a lefty. So that's not great. You want a little bit more diversity in your bullpen, I think. So to look at what's available out there, there's not a whole lot that I even know about. To be 100% honest with you, I don't know 90% of these names, so I'm just shooting off my ass here. David Robertson, of course, we know he played with the Mets last year for half the season before he got traded away to Miami. He really struggled with Miami, which concerns you. But he pitched so well with the Mets. It's like you don't know which David Robertson you're going to get. A guy nearing the end of his career. He's on the back nine, as they say. So with the Mets, he was 4-2 with a 2.05 ERA. With Miami, 2-4 with a 5.06 ERA. So you see the difference there. Take with that what you want. Take what you want with that. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. Adam Ottavino, another guy with the Mets all last season. wasn't as good as he was back in 2022, but still had a decent season last year compared to what the rest of the bullpen was. One of our more reliable guys, and like I said, occasionally just imploded for whatever reason. I don't know if it was the walks. He last year he was 1-7, so you see that record there. 3.21 ERA and a 4.2 walks per nine. And I should have wrote it down, but I think the year before 2022, it was in the low twos, his walks per nine. I could be wrong about that. Low twos, maybe low three. And I think a lot of the differences, a lot of these guys I was looking over were the season before, not a lot, some of them, not a lot of them, some of them, the season before they had a very low walks per nine. And then last season they had a very high walks per nine, like 4 or 5. And I will have to wonder if that's the pitch clock timer or what that is. I'm not sure. But my first thought right away was the pitch clock timer. Like there's just pitchers rushing. You have the pitch calm and stuff like that. It's just it could throw off your rhythm, throw off your time. It could cause more balls and cause more walks and stuff like that. So you had Ottavino as another right-hand pitcher and a lefty. Former Met, but he played with the Angels last 2 seasons. He played with the Mets in 2021. And I got to see him actually pitch live. The first, I went to opening day in Philadelphia. It was Mets at Phillies. Jacob deGrom started the game, pitched beautiful. Aaron Loup came in, blew the lead, and that was that. But that season he was with the Mets, that season, 2021, he ended up having a sub-1 ERA. He had a pretty good season there, but with Los Angeles, it's been all downhill from there. I think he had a 2022. I think his ERA was high threes, like 3.8, and then last year with the Angels, he was 2-3 with a 6.10 ERA. So there was a struggle last year. But as a left-handed pitcher, we don't have many left-handed pitchers in our bullpen. We have one, like I said, that I think is going to be in there, but there's also a couple other guys that could contend for spots in the bullpen that are lefties. But it would be nice to have another one. Hector Neris, that's another name that I've been hearing a lot, either on Mets Twitter or Mets X, whatever the hell you want to call it, or some other Mets podcasts that I catch or listen to. Hector Neris' name has come up time and time again, and the hell of a pitcher. Last season, 6-3, 1.71 ERA. Any team would love that in their bullpen. I'm not sure why he's not signed yet. I don't know if he's asking for an absorbent amount of money. I don't know. But he's still out there. Ryan Stanek, another name that I've heard through Mets circles, whether it be Mets X. I just heard Wardy. He does what is it called? Wardy. It's the Wardy podcast he does with the Mets. I'm not sure what the hell the full name of it is. Anyway, if you're a Mets fan, you know who it is. But he just did a show on Ryan Stanek. I think it was yesterday or today. It all kind of flows together when I work night shift, so I'm not sure what it is. But he pitched for the Astros, and last year, 3-1 with a 4.09 ERA. 2022, a 1.15 ERA. So, and his WHIP was 1.243 this past season. And again, though, another right-handed pitcher, hard thrower. So that's kind of that's good to have, especially in your bullpen. You don't want those guys to get up there and throw some cheese, throw some cheddar, throw some gas, and that's what you want. Somebody to scare the shit out of people. Eileen says, I think Ottavino was better in Colorado. I don't know. I have no idea. Again, like I said, bullpen. Those guys in bullpens are so, they move so often that you don't know who's who. Now I know Ottavino obviously because he pitched for the Mets the last 2 seasons that I know of, that I can remember. Anyway, I don't know if he pitched before 2022. I don't think he did. I think last year he was new to us, 2022. So that's 2 years ago. Now we're in 2024. I keep forgetting that. But I know 2022 he was fantastic for us in the 101 win season that we had. He and crap, I can't remember the other guy's name. But they're outstanding in the bullpen. And then last season, like I said, a low 3 ERA, not terrible, not bad at all, in the bullpen. But there's just times he imploded were just at the wrong times. If you're losing, 5-0 or 4-0, and you go out there and you give 2 or 3 runs up, I'm like, all right, that sucks. But it, sometimes it just seemed like we were up 3-1, just holding on to that lead, and he gave up 4 runs, or give up a couple home runs, or walk some people, give up a blast. It's just always at the poorest moments. So there's that. Hey, Paul Spencer checking in, Mr. Fuji 2.0. How you doing, brother? So yeah, those are a couple of the names that I did see out there. Wandy Peralta, he's a left-handed pitcher that's very interesting. I heard his name a lot. I've been hearing his name a lot with the Mets for quite a while now. I'm not sure why that hasn't done yet. 4-2 with a 2.83 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. And the one thing that kind of concerns me is that he had a walk per nine of 5 walks per 9 average, and his strikeouts per 9 were at 9. So the walks are really high. That's probably the highest I've seen after I was going through all sorts of stats and stuff like that. But that's pretty high. That's pretty high. So those are the bullpen names that I've been hearing. I'd love it if they're able to go out there and get a Wandy Peralta and maybe a Ryan Stanek. We definitely need another lefty. They have to pick up another lefty, a good lefty. So Wandy Peralta. I don't see Aaron Loop as being dominant. Aaron Loop's, I think, nearing the end of his career as well. I think he's like 37, 38. I'm not sure what Wandy Peralta's age is. Yeah, I'm not sure. I did look at it, but I don't remember for sure. I want to say 33, but I feel like he's older than that. But yeah, so Loop, I think he's another guy that's kind of long in the tooth, as it were. So yeah, I wouldn't really look at him, but maybe you go Wandy Peralta, Ryan Stanek, or a Wandy Peralta, Hector Neris, but definitely need another left-handed pitcher. That's what I think the Mets could use. A left-handed pitcher that's decent. And like I said, again, I'm gonna put this out here one more time. Bullpens are so fickle that one season they're great, and the next season they're trash. And the next season they're great. Next 2 seasons they're great. The next 2 seasons they're trash. It's really strange. Maybe that's why they're in the bullpen. I don't know. Not everybody can be a starter, but that's where we're at. But I think Wandy Peralta would fit in there real nice. Ryan Stanek, he'd be a nice setup man. I wouldn't use Wandy Peralta as a setup man with those high walks, but and even if we brought back Ottavino's 38, 39, he's kind of back, nearing the end also, seeing the light. Getting ready to be old, getting ready to be old Yellard, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Hey, Stacy Northrup. Good morning, Stacy. You can check Stacy out during the football season on the Big Blue Power Hour on Sundays. I'm not sure what you guys will be doing in the off season, but when it's in season, check them out on that Giants show, New York Giants, Big Blue Power Hour. Her and Dynamite Danny on wheels. So we're going to move on from the bullpen talk. Thank you for checking the show out, Stacy, and commenting. If you're out there and you're watching, and you're just watching and you're like, like this guy's an idiot, he's a moron, he doesn't know what he's talking about, I think we should do this. Comment, let me know. I like being told that I'm a moron. Just put it out there. Why not, right? Think you're so damn smart all the time. So another topic that's kind of contentious in Mets kingdom, I guess you want to. I don't know if that's the right wording or not, but it sounds pretty good, so I'm going to go with it. Are the baby Mets? Last season, they had the moniker of the baby Mets, which I absolutely hate. Hated the term baby Mets. It's just, I sounded so stupid. I'm cool with the kids, if you wanted to call them the kids. I know our boy Nelson at Amish Country Mets fan. I think he used the term the kids a lot. But the baby Mets, I can't stand that term. I think it's nonsensical and stupid. They're young. Or they call them the youngins or something. The young Mets. Or I like the kids, but she got me. So the baby Mets, if you're not sure, if you don't know, if you're this first time checking us out, you're not a Mets fan, you're just watching the show to see me stumble over my words and say 15,000 times. The baby Mets are Mark Vientos, Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez, and to a lesser extent, It would have been Ronnie Mauricio, but he's hurt. He's out for the season, so we're not even going to talk about him, which is very, very unfortunate. So we'll start off with Mark Vientos. Up and down last year. He was up in the. He was actually started off down in the big league or the minor leagues. Was brought up. I'm not sure when the hell it was. Halfway through the season or so, brought up for a little while. They weren't using him. People are screaming at Buck. Put the damn kid in. Why are we seeing Daniel Vogelbach? Watch strike 3 all the time. Put Vientos in. He can watch strike 3. What the hell? But Buck wasn't putting him in, and we find out later on that that's kind of like a Buck and general manager issue. But it is what it is. So Mark Vientos right now is a man with no home. Last season played a little bit of third base, played a little bit of first base, some DH. I do believe he has some outfield experience as well. But right now there's no set place for him. A lot of the fingers are pointing towards DH. But I always look at it, somebody that young, early 20s, mid 20s, do you really want to put them in the DH? They're young. They should be out there running around in the grass or playing in the sand or whatever. Why put them in the old age home or the DH? The DH is usually for the older folk and, or the big bats that can't field. And, as of right now in the minor leagues, he had a big bat, but as of right now in the major leagues, he hasn't had that big bat yet. And fielding wise, all right, he's not that great, but, he could get better. So last year, 65 games, he hit 211, 9 home runs, 22 RBI, and a OPS, that's your on-base percentage and slugging percentage put together, an OPS of 620. Not great. He finished the season when he was brought up permanently and got regular playing time. He did hit much, much better at the end of the season. Again, nothing spectacular, but much better. So you can kind of figure out how bad it was before that. And again, I think that's just, sitting, for days at a time, then being thrown in, for 2 at-bats as a DH and sitting for a couple more days. It's like, come on, man. So my projections for him this year, I expect him to get mostly DH at-bats again, which I'm not too thrilled about. If you've watched me before, I said I believe the DH should be like a rotating door with the Mets this season because there's so many guys on this team, whether new or has been a Met for the past few years, that have had injury issues or injury concerns. And so I feel like those guys should be rotated through the DH spot almost as like a resting spot. For instance, Starling Marte. When he's right, he's healthy. He's very good in the Mets lineup. Very good right fielder. But the problem is keeping the man healthy. So 2022, we had that awesome season that was just squandered away. We let the Braves come back and take the division from us. Then we get beaten the wild card round by the San Diego Padres. Starling Marte, when he was healthy, was very good. He was the catalyst. He was the Kickstarter of our lineup. He got things going. He created many opportunities for RBIs and just stuff like that. He just got on base a lot, and out in right field he was awesome. But then the injuries started creeping in. He started missing a lot of time. The Mets offense started floundering a bit without him there, and you've seen the difference. Last season, he had double groin surgery before the season, and I think he had a neck issue, if I remember correctly. That's what it was. And he wasn't right the whole season. In and out of the lineup, it just he didn't look good. He didn't look right. Struggling at the plate, struggling in the field. So a guy like that, he said he's 100% healthy right now. He said he feels great. He's down in the Dominican Winter League, was doing well. I'm not sure how he's been doing recently. That's a guy where I think he should play 2 or 3 series out in the field, out in right field. As many games as he can. Then bring him in for a series. Have him DH, still have him in the lineup because his bat's very important. His speed is very important to the lineup. Have him as DH for a series, then put him back out in right field. Now, Brandon Nimmo, he's had an injury history. Have him out there in the field. Starling Marte's DH, have Nimmo out in the field there. Well, Starling Marte gets off his DH series, bring Nimmo in for a series at DH. Just let him hit because bat very important. We have enough outfield depth now where I think that we can afford to bring those guys in for a full series and just let them hit. That way, they're still getting the rest. They're still not going through the wear and tear of being in the field, but they're still getting their bats. They're still getting their bats, still staying fresh, still staying in the game. And so that's what I think about that. Pete Alonso, not an injury history, but just a break. If you wanted to get him out of the field, bring him in for a series, put him at DH. It's just simple stuff. But I think Mark Vientos is going to most of his at bats at DH next season. He might work his way to third. Depends on what's going to happen with Brett Beatty. So my projection for him next year, I project him to hit 230, which is not great, but it's better. 17 home runs, 55 RBI, and an OPS of around 650. Not bad. I think we would take that as Mets fans. That's progression. So I think we'd take that. So then we get to Brett Beatty, our third baseman for 108 or so games last year. He played in 108 games with the Mets. Most of those at third base. He did play some DH, I believe. Played some outfield. He ended up hitting 212, 9 home runs, 34 RBIs, and a 598 OPS. Not very good, but even more troubling was his fielding. His fielding was very, very bad. A lot of times looked lost. Just a lot of it was mental stuff. It was just mental. And he said it as such after a really rough series. I can't remember who it was against. He was talking to reporters or whatever. And he said he's just having a hard time staying focused. It's just, baseball is a long game. And he just kind of, find himself thinking about his last at bat, just not able to get past it, not be able to get over it. And that's affecting his fielding. He was a very good fielder. So he's out there fumbling the ball or dropping pop-ups or just, throwing to the wrong base. And it's just stuff like that. And, it really, really hurt him last season. Made him look incompetent, which we know he's not. We know he's a good player. He's shown it in the minor leagues, AA, AAA, all that stuff. So there's no reason to think that he wouldn't rebound. So last year, along with his poultry average and OPS and lack of power numbers, he also had 10 errors and a fielding percentage of .956, which is terrible. So, you got to get that right, and I think it starts at the plate. If he feels better, feels more confident at the plate, that should carry over into the field, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I do believe he will be our starting third baseman next season, barring some sort of free agent pickup or whatever, or trade, which I don't think there'd be a trade right now. So he does have power. He has plenty of pop in his bat, so hopefully he comes along next season. I have him hitting 250, 21 home runs, 68 RBI, and an OPS of 680. So again, that's progression. I think any Met fan would take Brett Beatty hitting 250 with 21 home runs and 68 RBI. So that's where I think he's going to land this season. I think he's going to take a step forward, and all of us Mets fans are going to kind of take a deep breath, step back a little bit. Okay, maybe we have something here, and let's see what we got the season after that in 2025. So, and finally for the baby Mets, we have Francisco Alvarez, who was our catcher last season. Took the bull by the horns. He ended up playing 123 games with the Mets, most of them through the catcher position, and didn't start with the Mets. He started in the minor leagues. They brought him up. I think it was after. I don't know if it was an injury. I can't remember if it was an injury. Omar Narvaez's injury, and they brought him up. I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. They brought him up, and Tomas Nido was just such trash last year, which is unfortunate because I like Tomas Nido. But it's mostly for his defense. That's why the Mets kept him around. His defense wasn't very good. So they brought up Francisco Alvarez, the youngster, and he impressed. He impressed with his pop, his power, his excitement. He was a spark. His defense was much better than expected. So, overall, B+ on bringing him up, and the way he performed last year. The only issue I had with Francisco Alvarez was so many peaks and valleys with him. He hit his home runs in bunches, and then you wouldn't hear from him. It'd just be quiet. Hit a bunch of home runs, and then you wouldn't hear from him. It was just so up and down with him last season. If he's able to kind of even that out, even keel, yeah, he's going to be awesome. He's going to be a terrific player. I think he's going to be a superstar. You're like next superstar type catcher, just because he has that spark. It just very energetic, and that's something I think was tampered down by Buck last season, and I think that's one of the reasons why our club took a kind of a shitty turn last year was Buck's rules. Buck kind of tampering down the excitement, the celebrations and stuff like that. And we want to see that. We want to see that the guys are having a good time. They're excited. They're celebrating. Something good happened. They kind of keep that rolling. But if you do something good, you do something exciting, and all you can do is come back and give a fancy handshake. Well, that sucks. That sucks ass. So that was my thoughts on that. So anyway, last year he hit 209, 25 home runs, 63 RBI, 721 OPS. He had some big home runs and big spots. But again, kind of fell off a cliff. Then he'd be back up again. Defensively, very good. 13 errors, which isn't great, but for a rookie catcher, pretty good. A 986 fielding percentage, 13% caught stealing rate, which isn't bad. It's probably about somewhere in the middle. And so he caught 15 base runners out of 114 attempts. So not terrible. Much better than we thought. I think one of the question marks with Francisco Alvarez was his defense. But after last season, I feel like we feel a little bit more comfortable with his defense. He can get the job done. So my projection for him next year is 230, 25 home runs, 75 RBI, and a 700 OPS. I think he'll have a really good season next year. Just hopefully he kind of evens it out. If he can even it out, he could push, I think, the 30 home run mark. He has a lot of pop. And I've seen some recent video of him. It looks like he trimmed down a little bit. So that could make a difference as well. That could be a faster swing, all that good stuff. So that's my thoughts on the baby Mets, if you will, the baby Mets, the kids, as I like to call them, but they're not going to be kids. They're going to be veteran Mets now, into their sophomore season. They should all be up with the big club next year, I believe, to start. So I think we'll be all good there. All right, so a little bit of Hall of Fame talk there. We had the Hall of Fame announcement yesterday. They have 3 inductees. I'm not sure, but I don't know if all 3 were first-time ballot. For some reason, I thought I heard that, but I'm not sure. I should have looked into it. Damn it. So we have third baseman Adrian Beltre getting in. What a terrific career. I mean, if you want to watch somebody having fun, somebody goofing around, go ahead and look up some videos of Adrian Beltre. That dude is just straight up hilarious. He's a funny dude. People like messing with him. He likes messing with people. It's good. It's good stuff. It's funny stuff. There's this one clip that I seen that kills me. Is he was playing for Texas. They have the on deck circle, which is a mat, the Texas Rangers mat. And that's where he's supposed to be standing, warming up and, putting rosin on his, or not rosin, and putting tar on his bat and, swinging 3 bats or putting weights on the bat, the whole routine over there in the on deck circle. Well, I guess the umpire had issue because he was kind of standing closer to where he would be. It's kind of off center. He's not in the batting circle. He's closer to where the plate would be. And I don't know if the umpire was distracted by it or what, but the umpire wasn't happy about it. He told him he needs to be in the circle. So Adrian Beltre walked over, picked up the mat, and drug it over to where he was. He goes, "There you go." So the umpire didn't like that, and the umpire tossed him out. So that's funny stuff right there. That's hilarious in my book. That's just really funny. So looking at his career stats, 3,166 hits, fantastic. 477 home runs, 1,707 RBI. A career batting average is 286. Career OPS, 819. 5-time Gold Glover, 4-time Silver Slugger, 2-time Platinum Glove. He was a hell of a third baseman. Very, very good. 4-time All-Stars. He finished second in the MVP race. That's in 2004 with the Dodgers. And that season, he had 48 home runs, 121 RBI, and a 1.017 OPS. Adrian Beltre, much deserved. A hell of a ball player. Really, really good ball player. A little bit underrated, if you ask me, because you just never really heard his name put up there with the greats or anything like that throughout his career until he was done. Then you kind of started hearing, he could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. Just, when does he get in type of stuff. So good for him. Then you have first baseman Todd Helton, who spent 17 years with one team. That's the Colorado Rockies. Very good hitter. I think that's probably mostly what he's known for. 2,519 hits. Career average of 316, 369 home runs, 1,406 RBI, an OPS of .953 for his career, 5-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 4-time Silver Slugger, and he has a batting title. In the year, I think it was 2000? I don't know. I don't have the whole year written down. I don't know what year it was. He hit 372, 42 home runs, 147 RBI, and a 1.162 OPS. I don't think it's 2000. I think it's like 2007, 2008, something like that. Anyway, congratulations to Todd Helton. I remember when he played in Colorado. I mean, some people, those numbers, offensive numbers, are because he's in Colorado. I don't think so. I just think he's overall just a great hitter. No matter where he was going to be, he was going to be a great hitter. So, year in and year out was always there, with the high average, going for the batting title. I was kind of surprised after reading that he only won one, to be honest with you. Then we have Joe Mauer, who was mostly a catcher. 15 years with one team again, the Minnesota Twins. 2,123 career hits, 143 home runs, and 923 RBI. So obviously, his strong suit was not offense. So it's going to be defense. For a catcher, it's usually what it comes down to, defense. Offensively, you don't see too many great offensive catchers. You don't see too many Mike Piazzas. You do get them in occasionally, or JT Realmuto, guys like that, where offensively they're just outstanding. But usually they're, the really good ones are great at defense and good at offense. So Joe Mauer, career lifetime average of 306, 827 OPS, a .996 fielding percentage, which is outstanding, a 33% caught stealing rate. So you remember I talked earlier about Francisco Alvarez. His caught stealing rate was, I think, was 18%, 13%. Joe freaking Mauer had 33%. Unbelievable. 6-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 5-time Silver Slugger, a 3-time batting champ. So that's something, not a lot of pop to his bat, but a lot of hits, a lot of high averages. MVP 2009. That season he hit 365, a 1.031 OPS, 28 home runs, and 96 RBI. Both those, I believe, were career highs for him: 28 home run and the 96 RBI. So congratulations to Joe Mauer. So to kind of get off topic a little bit, I guess it's on topic. Congratulations to those three going to the Hall of Fame. So I put out a poll yesterday on my X. I think it's at Batcave OOTBS, I believe. And I put out there, what Mets do you think should be in the Hall of Fame that are not, obviously? It was, Keith Hernandez, David Wright, and I believe Doc Gooden. And so you look at Doc Gooden, I think he had 3 or 4 absolutely terrific years at the beginning of his career. and then the whole substance abuse stuff kind of taken over, and which is a shame because he could have been a great one. I mean, then again, who knows? He pitched so many innings early on in his career. Who knows? Injury might have taken over and stuff like that. So, David Wright, this is where it comes down to somebody getting injured, keeping him out of the Hall of Fame. Because I think if he's able to finish playing his career at like 30, 38, 39, and without being injured, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I absolutely think he's a Hall of Famer. But because his last few seasons that he did play were just marred by injury, where he had that, what was it, the narrowing of the spine or something like that. I don't know if it was spinal stenosis or something. I don't remember the exact term for it, but he had some I guess it was back and neck issues. So that pretty much took his career away from him. And I think he ended up retiring like at 34 or 35. And like I said, the last 2 or 3 seasons, it was nothing to really speak of. But the one that really sticks out to me is the Keith Hernandez one. So Keith Hernandez, terrific career with St. Louis and with the Mets. World Series winner, I think, with the both. Definitely with the Mets in '86. And offensively, never really had the great numbers, but defensively, probably one of the best first basemen of all time. I'm just really surprised that Keith Hernandez is still not in the Hall of Fame. And I didn't realize that he wasn't in the Hall of Fame until last year. I just assumed Keith Hernandez, the man was on Seinfeld, for crying out loud. I thought for sure he was in the Hall of Fame, but he's not. And so it's very unfortunate. I'm going to try to look up his stats here if I can really quick. It's just unfortunate that he's been overlooked for so long. Obviously, he cannot get voted into the Hall of Fame anymore by the Baseball Writers Association. It has to be by the Veterans Committee. And that was one thing about David Wright that was kind of cool. Even though he's never going to be a Hall of Famer, he still had enough votes, votes probably out of respect to keep him on the ballot for next season. So I thought that was pretty cool to see. All right, so Keith Hernandez stats here. Career stats, 2,182 hits, 162 home runs, and a lifetime batting average of 296. I mean, so you look at that, more hits than Joe Mauer. So obviously different positions, but he's not your typical, I guess, first baseman. 11 times Gold Glove, 2-time Silver Slugger, a batting title, 2 World Series champions, 5-time All-Star, and an MVP. And that guy's not in the Hall of Fame? Wow. All right. Let me see what else we got here. A career OPS of 821, which is, let's see here. Todd Helton's OPS was 953. He has a better OPS than what Adrian Beltre had. Adrian Beltre's was 819. His best home run season. His best home run, again, it was not a home run here. He had 18 home runs for the 87 Mets. And he had 16 for the 1980 Cardinals. RBIs, he had 105 and 79. That was his high for RBI. Batting average wise, 344 and 79, 321 and 80, 306 and 81, 306 and 83 with the Mets. His first year with the Mets, 311 and 84, 309 and 85, 310 and 86, and then it went down after that. So, I mean, I believe he has enough offensive numbers besides their power numbers to get in the Hall of Fame. So I'm not sure what's keeping him out right now. I'd like to hear something definitive from like a baseball writers, that vote on this, something definitive as to why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Let me see if I can find his fielding percentage here real quick. A fielding percentage of 994.994%. It's almost 100%. So, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 5 seasons of a perfect fielding percentage, and nothing lower than .991, and that was at the end of his career, his last season with the Mets, and also at 83 with the Cardinals, his last season with the Cardinals. So, I mean, I don't get it. I don't know why Keith Hernandez is not in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't make sense to me. You make your own conclusions, is it because he didn't hit home runs? I don't know. I'm sure you can go into the history of the Hall of Fame of Cooperstown and find guys that are in the Hall of Fame that have comparable or worse fielding or worse offensive numbers than what he does, and then are still in the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't know what Ozzie Smith's numbers are. I'm going to get going down a wormhole here, but I don't know if Ozzie Smith, if his stats are any better offensively, because I remember Ozzie Smith being an offensive type player. He had more hits, but way less home runs. I'll tell you that. Ozzie Smith had 2,460 hits, so he had about 300 more hits than what Keith Hernandez did. 28 home runs, so a lot less home runs. And his batting average is way, way, way lower than that. So his WAR was 76.9. I think Keith was a 60 something. I could be wrong. Yeah, 60.3. So, I mean, we can go all day about this. We can go all day about this, but Keith Hernandez needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully they wise up and they get his ass in the Hall of Fame. That's all I got to say about that now. So let's move on to my final topic of the day. Of course, the final topic is always the top 10 list. And it's the top 10 peanut butter snacks. Today is National Peanut Butter Day. So do some peanut butter type crap. I know I've done a list on peanut butter type crap before, but here's another one. I'm sure it's probably a little bit different than what I did before. If not, then it is what it is. So number 10 for my top 10 peanut butter snack. My top 10 peanut butter snacks. If you have something different, if there's a certain peanut butter snack that you like, give me your top 3 or your favorite or whatever it is. Top 5, if you want to do top 10, throw it out there real quick. I'll read them off. So number 10, crunchy peanut butter. I like crunchy peanut butter. I like eating crunchy peanut butter out of the jar. It's a treat in itself. Number 9, peanut butter cookies. Like those peanut butter cookies that you get, like, that mom used to make or grandma used to make, where you get the little cross section or the fork cross sections there, love them. Absolutely love them. Maybe a little bit of sugar on the outside, but you don't need it. It's just the peanut butter is awesome. Number 8, peanut butter and banana milkshake. I love peanut butter and banana milkshakes. There's a milkshake shop up the highway from where I live called Bat Frie, and they make that super thick. I love it. You can feel that banana traveling up the straw. It's beautiful. Number 7, peanut butter and Ritz crackers. So that's a treat that I do enjoy. You get a whole sleeve of the Ritz crackers and throw some peanut butter on there. I just all day. I have a cup of milk right there next to me. Number 6, peanut butter Captain Crunch. I do believe that's my favorite cereal. I've done my favorite cereals before, and peanut butter crunch is still at the top. Number 5, peanut butter cups and all Hershey's and Reese's peanut butter type products. Reese's peanut butter, Reese's Pieces, with the peanut butter, they're terrific. Peanut butter cups, the Reese's peanut butter sticks are fantastic. The Reese's peanut butter Nutrageous is fantastic. It's all good. It's all good. Anything with Reese's and Hershey chocolate is just awesome. Number 4, peanut butter and bananas. So what I like to do, I either make a sandwich out of it. I'll get some bread, put the peanut butter on, slice the banana up into circular little coins I call them, or I would, if I didn't have bread, I'd cut the banana in half, I'd slice it lengthwise, and put peanut butter in there, and make a little sandwich out of it. So I'd have a banana, with a little bit of peanut butter in the middle. So it's, you make do. Fluffernutters, that's marshmallow and peanut butter sandwich. I'm not talking, getting yourself a bag of marshmallows, or you're camping and you get a bag of marshmallows and throw some. No, the fluffer. It's a big plastic container. I think it says fluff on it. You got to get yourself some of that, and put that on there with the bread and peanut butter. Outstanding. Number 2 is peanut butter and jelly, of course. Why would it not be at number 2? It has to be up there somewhere. For me, I like strawberry jelly. Strawberry jelly's at the top, then blackberry jelly, and then grape jelly if I have to. I'm not a huge grape jelly fan, but if I have to, I'll go to that. I'll go to that before I go anywhere near raspberry jelly. But strawberry is always up top. And I like the strawberry jelly that has chunks of strawberry in it. I don't want just regular jelly. I want that. I don't know if they're called preserves or whatever, but they have the chunks of strawberry in there. It's exciting. It's like a prize with every bite. Number 1 for me is Turkey Hill's peanut butter ripple ice cream. And I know I've ranted and raved about Turkey Hill's ice cream and how awesome it is. So if you never had Turkey Hill ice cream, specifically Turkey Hill's peanut butter ripple ice cream, you're missing out, and you need to find some now. It's just, it's a vanilla ice cream with huge chunks of peanut butter in it. I mean, so I live in the coal region in Pennsylvania. So, you hear veins of coal, going throughout the land. They got to dig and blast and get the veins of coal out. There's veins of peanut butter interwoven into this ice cream. It's beautiful. Like you're scooping ice cream. Okay, I got a little bit of peanut butter, then all of a sudden I hit the mother load. And you're thinking you're pulling the whole chunk of peanut butter out. Then the next person's pissed off because you took all the peanut butter. Like, hey, I hit the vein, man. Nothing I can do about that. It's mine now. So it's awesome. I can't even tell you how awesome it is. It's indescribable. I'm doing the best I can to describe it, but it doesn't do it justice. How exciting it is to get that vein. And everyone has it. Every I guess it's a half gallon of ice cream. I don't know what it is, but everyone has it. Every container has it. Has that 1 or 2 veins in there. Oh man, it's exciting stuff. Now my later years, I try not to be selfish. I'm married and I have kids, so I don't take the whole vein, but I take a large chunk of that vein out. That's mine. That's Dad's. That's my top 10 list. I got a comment here. Does peanut butter vodka count? Peanut butter vodka does count. Yes, it does count. That's why I said peanut butter and peanut butter type products. Peanut butter vodka, what is that? The hell's that called? I think it has a cow on it. I don't know what the hell it's called. But I know usually we have a bottle in the house. We mix it with, I think, cream soda. It's supposed to be really good. That's what the wife drinks when she uses the peanut butter vodka. I think it's cream soda, but I could be wrong. Could be making that up. But yeah, it definitely does count. Another comment. Hala Vodka has it. I never heard of it. I never heard of Hala Vodka. I wish I could remember what the hell the one that is popular where I'm at. It had like a bull's head on it, or like a some sort of cattle skull, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. I go ahead and do my sponsor reads and get the hell out of here. I got to run to the store before I go to bed. I'm not happy about it. But if I want to eat, that's what I got to do. If I want to eat dinner later on, that's what I got to do. So we'll start off with Jason Fine. Big Al, our boy Big Al. You can reach Jason Fine at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. They have 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, the offices are located at 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. And in the steel city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And then in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. So once you get all your legal legal situations, figured out and taken care of with Jason Fine, head on over to monkeycoldcoffee.com and get yourself some Victory Coffee. They have bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee, toasted coconut rum, the Sumatran blend. They also have one of their newer blends, the organic blend, Perula, Florida. Another new blend that's not on the old wallpaper here. I don't know what the hell you call it. The overlay. That's what it is. That's on the overlay is Golden Honey Agave. Very good coffee. That's I currently have right now. I actually this weekend I'm going to try the Golden Honey Agave coffee with some Jack Daniel's Golden Honey. So I can't wait to try that. Honey Jack. Toss a snifter into the coffee and see what happens. Maybe it could be magical. I don't know. So after you order your coffee, head on over to the swag shop, get yourself a coffee mug with a kick-ass logo with Roderick on there, their mascot. The tumblers are absolutely awesome. T-shirts, they don't have any fat guy sizes yet, so yeah, I think it goes up to XX. Which some may say that is a fat guy size, but I disagree. As soon as you start upcharging your T-shirts, like most websites do for XXX and 4X, and they start upcharging $3, we're fat. We already have all sorts of problems, and you can start upcharging us right away because we use more material. It's frustrating. And the K-cup adapters, and don't forget your Paradise rum cake as well. Good stuff there. The Paradise rum cake, very good. So give that a shot, and put all that stuff in your little virtual shopping cart. Then when you're at checkout, use that promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off. The promo code, once again, is OOTB Sports for 10% off your order at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Guess who's back? Back again. Kenny's back. Tell a friend, please. Eileen says, check out Hala. I think they are based in York. Oh, okay. So they should be in our local shops. I'll have to check that out. Maybe it's cheaper too. All right. So that's all I have for today. Before I get out of here, make sure you check us out at Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitch, Instagram, the old TikTok, hashtag OOTBoxSports. We're always live and in color. If you're interested in doing a show, hit us up and we'll get the ball rolling here. You can check me out this Friday, 10 a.m., the Silver and Black Lair, talking Raiders football, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about with that, and LA Kings hockey. LA Kings hockey, disappointing me. But we'll talk about that as well. They're doing so well, and I'm so happy. At least I'll have one team that's going to do really good this season. Maybe make a run in the playoffs. And right now, it's just falling off a cliff for me. Tough stuff. And also Saturday night after the Royal Rumble, myself and Cowboy Dave will be going live with a Royal Rumble post-match show, post-premium live event show. That's what I'll call it. That's Saturday night. Who knows what time? Whatever it's over, add a half hour after that. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for checking the show out. I appreciate it very much. And I do believe I'll be on next Wednesday. So just, listen, if there's some moves, maybe I'll come on there and talk about it. If not, maybe I'll take the week off from the Batcave. So that's all I have. Thank you for checking the show out. Let's go Mets, and I'll see you guys next time.